All right, I'm about to go into the gym, but I had something that I really wanted to get off my chest and off my mind because I shoot a lot of videos that talk about mindset to get you guys ready and prepped to walk into business or to walk into any endeavor that you have in your lives. And you guys see me here talking. I have a lot of passion about what I talk about, but I don't think you guys really understand who I am and my background and where I come from. Now, first off, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Although I know I'm extremely handsome and I know that I look young, but I'm really an old man. I'm really an older guy. I've been around for a very long time. I started my whole life in insurance. I've been an insurance broker for over 15 years, an actual broker for over 15 years. So I have a lot of extensive background as far as for insurance. I started my career working as an insurance agent on the life side, and I took a lot of boot camps and I did a lot of policies for individuals who are looking for IULs, the infinite banking concept. I learned a lot about trust. I was talking about this in 2018 before this was even popularized. I was probably like one of the only African-American young guys that was learning about these concepts, trying to bring it back to the hood to tell people about these type of concepts that were available in life insurance and health insurance, but it was going in one ear and out the other. For one, I was a young black guy who was broke as hell. Number two, they was unfamiliar about these concepts. And then number three, a lot of people that look like me, they didn't understand the importance of investing in themselves. They invest in things that was not totally beneficial to them, but when it's something that you can't hold and touch, they didn't see the value in that. And a lot of my information went in one ear and out the other until they see someone who looks like this talking about the same concepts, and now they're like, oh my God, this guy is brilliant. I'm like, yo, I just told you about this shit, a month ago. But that's neither here or there. I learned a lot about insurance. I learned a lot about finance. I wanted to know where the money was going. If you ever seen that movie Rush Hour 2 when Chris Tucker was like, follow the rich white man, I was following the rich white man because the rich white man had a lot of information that was available for me that I knew that I could capitalize off of, because although I was broke at that moment, I knew in my mind that I was not going to be broke for life. So I was putting things in place and planting the seed so that my life could be where it's at right now and a little bit and a lot further than where I'm currently at, because I'm doing great right now, but I'm about to really fuck it up. Excuse my language, but it is what it is. So that's the first thing. Been in insurance for over 15 years, so I know a lot about money. I know a lot about government contracting. My wife and I, we didn't put things together as far as for government contracting. I have a lot of resources in that. Also, as far as just government contracting, I've helped build a company from zero money, because my wife got a business, from zero money to over $2 million in assets. You talking about from scratch, and using the messaging to target individuals, being authentic, being real, being something that you can relate to. And we scaled this company from $0 to $2 million. I remember seeing people make $10,000 in a month. That was like astronomical. That was like almost unbelievable if they could do it online. And now, we put ourselves in a position. We first did that and we made $10,000 in a day. That was like the greatest feeling in the world, because that let us know that things could be attainable and we could live a lifestyle that that we've dreamed of. This put us in a position where we was able to move to Cabo. I lived in Cabo San Lucas for 3 years. And life has been, on the up and up. Also, I had my losses too, like although I was, living in Cabo San Lucas, I had layoffs, in tech, because I changed from being in insurance, going into the tech industry. I had a layoff. I had a few layoffs, and I was affected by it. And it also affected my confidence to the point where I had to damn near move back to Atlanta. And going back to Atlanta, living in that type of lifestyle, you start to have like for me, I had not just the confidence that was lost, I was feeling kind of antisocial because I couldn't really relate to a lot of the people that was in Atlanta. I couldn't relate to the culture at all. I kind of like disconnected myself from that when I moved to Cabo San Lucas. And if you're somebody who lived overseas and you have to live back in the United States, you hate it. I put myself in a whole position to say after United States, and I thought I was never going to come back. Family problems, money problems, I had to come back to regroup and restructure. But outside of that regrouping and restructure, I built it back up. So I took a lot of losses. And also shit, dealing with taxes as well. You know, like I got new money. This is different for me. I was looking forward to the tax season like the regular folks. But now it's like I'm dreading every time when the tax season come around because my money is different. And I'm always gotta pay. Always gotta pay. It's just what it is when you start to make over 6 figures. So I'm very well versed in money. I'm very well versed in finance. I'm very well versed as far as resources, and I feel like resources is my strength. So this is the reason why I'm going to change my videos a little bit more to give you guys a little bit of meat and potatoes as far as how you guys could, number one, make some money, because I'm always talking about increase your skill set, because your skill set is going to help you with your paycheck. And the more you know, the more opportunities you're able to go after. So that's what I'm always saying, learn, study. I'm not just saying it just to say it. I'm saying it because these are the software skills that are in demand by these companies that got billions of dollars to back them. And they need people who can use those skills, not even use those skills, use that software and teach how to use that software in some cases, but also implement what they need to get done in their operations and their systems, in their current systems. So if you understand the software that's available in the market, how to use it, also how to train others, is going to put you in demand where you can get those 6-figure plus opportunities. But outside of getting those opportunities, because that's just one thing, we don't want you to get caught up in the mundane of just working for somebody. Like, I like my jobs, don't get it twisted. But at the same time, I like my freedom more. I like control more. And these jobs, although they're great, that shit could be pulled up from under you in an instant. And if you got a lifestyle of cars, you got a lifestyle of house, you got women, you got kids, you know, you making this kind of money, you're going to live like you make that kind of money. You're not going to live in a shack or a shanty somewhere. You're going to live in a good neighborhood. It might be a gated neighborhood. You're going to have a nice car. You're going to go to nice places. And that's a lifestyle that you have built. And this job or that you currently have that make that kind of money helps you maintain it. But if you lose that, then you're in a situation where, you know, you might have, let's say, $5,000 or $7,000 saved up, because a lot of us ain't saving money as we should. Again, we talking about new money, and your rent is $3,500, your mortgage is $3,200, so you barely got a month to make a move or a transition. And if you're in this industry, it might take you some time in order to get a job. And then if you melanated, it might take you a little bit more time to get a job, depending on how you set up. But these are the realities that you have to deal with. And this is what this channel is about. I want to most definitely break down the realities of what you have to deal with. Now, I'm going to talk about business right now. I'm about to really go in depth about business. And what I'm going to talk about is one of the things that a lot of business owners have to deal with, and what they will deal with if you are really in business. And we're talking about money problems. If you are a person that got a business, you're going to always be in need of money. A lot of my friends are business owners. You know, my family, we have businesses. I know how it is when you have a business that you're trying to run. When you have a real business with real employees, a real payroll, your employees, they are looking to get paid that Friday. You can't miss a beat. This is the reason why a lot of business owners have jobs on the side and still manage their business, because ad spend and operations are where the majority of your money goes. It goes to ad spend because you need to market your business to individuals, and operations because you need to pay the people to keep your business running. So ad spend and operations can take damn near half of everything that you make. 25% of your money should go towards ad spend, which is marketing. And then operations, that's another 25%, probably more than that. And you may have that 50%, you might not even have that 50%. You might be walking away with 15% because you also got to put in perspective of taxes. So when people talk about entrepreneurs and people that are in business, we're the last to get paid. And we, in most cases, don't get paid as much as some of our employees. We run the business, we might have an asset, but we got a lot of opportunity. We got a lot of operations and payroll and people that need to be paid first before we see anything. And when you have these type of real life problems, this is where the opportunities lie. So I'm going to talk about loans and MCA loans, and also people who got 401ks and Roths who are looking to figure out what the heck we're going to do with this money. Now, I'm going to talk about your auntie. I'm going to talk about your grandmama. I'm going to talk about your daddy. I'm going to talk about somebody who has retired and is sitting on a 401k, or is sitting on a semi lump sum of money. It could be something as simple as $50,000. Now, if you are one of these individuals that got this kind of money that's sitting somewhere, and you know, like I know, that this money is going to run out very soon. You barely have a year left before you have to go to Walmart and sign receipts at the door. If this is you, and you know that this money is not growing, and you want to sit here and save your way to success, which is not going to happen, you're going to lose it, you're going to get broke. You need to look at people who have businesses that are profitable and do a scale on their business, do an understanding of the business. What I mean by a scale or understanding of the business is having a evaluation of that individual's business. And then from there, you create a deal. This is what MCA loans do. MCA might say, and I got hit with a couple of them myself. I'm going to explain what an MCA loan is. An MCA loan is a high interest loan, right? So when you have a business that's running, right, you have so much debt. You might have used the bank resources and assets to get your business up and going. You can't get no money from the bank. The bank like, I ain't giving you no more. You done already exerted this out, but you still gotta run your business. You might have thought you needed 200,000, but you really needed 300,000. Now you scraping and scrambling like P. Diddy. You scraping and scrambling, trying to figure out how you gonna keep this business alive because you invested so much in it. This is how a lot of businesses fail. Then they got to go to the MCA loans. MCA loans, these are loans, again, high interest loans. And they can give you that money in 24, 48 hours, depending on how they got it set up. And I'm going to tell you how I got hit with one. They said, we can give you $20,000, but we need $30,000. And that shit is crazy. And you got to pay them $30,000 in like 9 months. So they're taking money from you every week. So they're making a 50% increase, off of what you loaned them. 50% increase. That's a lot of freaking money. But guess what? Because you don't want to reach out to your auntie, you don't want to reach out to your father, you don't want to reach out to your cousin, you don't want to reach out to those individuals who have worked so long to build that money. Because in their mind, they got the money, right? But they worked so long for this money. That's their life. That's everything to them. So they don't want to give it away because to them, they equate time with money and they put in 10 years to make that money. So they don't want to let it go. Although their bills and their daily maintenance is taken away from that money every day. And it's only a matter of time before they have to go back to work and that money is gone. So what I'm going to explain is once that happens and the money that they have is gone, then they're like, oh, well, I'm going to work, whatever. This happens all the time. If you got a business that's running and you know somebody that's doing that, you can always give them an offer, but in most cases they don't and they always lose. But when you're talking about a company that specializes in loaning money to businesses and making a 50% markup on that individual, what if you did the same thing and you just did it 25%? And we ain't saying just give them some money. I'm talking about literally evaluate the business. Number 2, write up a contract. Number 3, write up the terms. Number 3, put it in a situation where you have some sort of lien on that business that they have. If they have a legitimate business, if they don't pay you, where you will have a piece of that business, or they forfeit some sort of business, or they have a lien on that business. So any assets or resources is coming into that business, you the first person to get paid. Because now we're handling it like business. We're not handling it like that's my buddy or that's my friend. Like, no, we have all of our information documented. We have all of our information laid out, listed. And our job here is to, number 1, if we're talking about the auntie, the grandma, father, whoever, friend, number 1, to get paid. And then number 2, keep that business alive. If we can keep that business alive and also get paid from it, we're not doing a disservice in any kind of way. We are operating like a bank. This is what banks do. They can't go to the bank anymore. But then the only person they can go to is an MCA company in which they're going to charge them 50%. Why don't you charge them 25%? You're not making 25% off of your 401k money. You're not making anything at all. You're not making that kind of money at all. But again, these are alternative ways to make money that no one talks about. Because again, if you know people who have businesses are always going to need money. All of my friends are business owners. They make money and they always need money. They always need money for expansion. It could be something as simple as a hot water tank go out in their restaurant, and or the roofing they need, and so they need money. Or if they see an opportunity, they need money in order to capitalize off of that opportunity. So you can position yourself in the middle to be that individual who have the money. You might not necessarily have the business, but if you have the money, you can make the moves and you can get paid off of that interest. Imagine if you got $100,000, right? And you loan somebody $100,000 within their business, and you know their business is making money. And you put terms like MCA has put terms on me. And a lot of business owners out there. You're talking about they're walking away with $150,000 from $100,000 investment in less than 9 months. If you're talking about 401ks, right, you're making probably 3% on a 401k. So if you give $100,000, you're going to walk away with $3,000 compared to $50,000. That's a big difference right there. That can give you more room and more leverage to do whatever you need to do. So instead of you just sitting here sitting on this money, hoarding this money, you could take the same money and put it in someone who has a business that is actually generating revenue. Not somebody who's trying to figure it out, somebody who's making some money. They got to be making some money in order for it to be a good deal. Not a pipe dream, not somebody who trying to figure out. No, I want to see where it makes sense at, as you should want to see where it makes sense at. You should want to see what the numbers look like, because men and women lie, numbers don't. And we're gonna draft up a real agreement on the payment terms and how I want to be paid back. Also, what I'm mentioning to you right now, this is also one of the concepts that the infinite banking strategy use as far as become your own banker. I'm just talking to someone who has a 401k or someone who has money in reserves that they're sitting on, someone who may have retired, or not even just retired. You can be somebody who just got some money that you're sitting on and you're trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this money, because money sitting is dead money because it is not generating any type of revenue. Money supposed to be moving. The whole concept of currency is to move. It need to be moving. And if it's not moving, it's standing still. And if it's standing still, it's dying because interest is continuously going up and it's not going to be able to compete with inflation. $50,000 today ain't $50,000 10 years ago as far as for the purchasing power. So what I'm explaining to you is this. It's other ways to make money out here. But again, when you are a person that has worked hard for money their whole life, and time and your time has been equated with money, then that might seem like a risk to you. That might seem like it's a little scary to you. You might want to invest in your cabinets in your house. I want to build equity in my house. That's not real money as far as equity in your house. It might improve your house, but we're talking about money. We're talking about something that you can grab immediately. That's what we're talking about. And having your paperwork together when you're structuring these type of deals is important. You may need a lawyer to look at your paperwork. You can write in your contract in your deal. All right, if I'm going to give you $50,000, $25,000 would have to be for paying for the lawyer to close this deal out. It's so many terms that you can put within a contract and within a deal because you structure it. You structure it how you want to structure it. The person reads it, they can counter and say, hey, I don't like this clause. I don't like that clause. That's what business is about. So you're able to craft deals at the table with the individual and make it sufficient for both individuals. Not just give somebody something to say, hey, this is my terms. They might say, hey, I don't like this, this, and this. Let's work on this. I don't want to give you 20%. I want to give you 15%. I want to give you 10%. I want to give you 5%. Either way, it's still better than 3% sitting in the bank, dude. And some companies and some 401s and some investments that you guys have, savings, they're not even doing that, especially if it's sitting in the savings account. It's not even doing that. So I just want to give you guys some food for thought to think a lot differently and to think differently as far as the opportunities that's available out here in the market. You might be sitting next to someone that have a business, that have an opportunity, that might be struggling, that might be going through a trying time right now, that might need that lifeline that you can give them. They're making money, but they might need that lifeline. They might need to have that verification of funds in their account. They might not even need to use the money. They might just need it in their account so that they can capitalize off of different types of opportunities or loans that are available. They might need to use OPM. They might need to go to the bank, and the bank say, hey, you know, you got to have $10,000 as far as the minimum in order for us to give you this $75,000 loan. And you just had a big hit. You had to buy a new truck because the truck just went out, and that truck cost you $7,000. You only got $3,000 in your bank. Now you got to reach out to somebody. Hey, man, you know, this truck is going to give us the money. So, but I need to borrow some money. But then you got a friend or you got a family member around and say, I don't know about all of that, man. You know, I don't know. And this is why a lot of you guys stay broke. This is why a lot of average people stay broke, because they don't have the eyes or the mindset to see an investment. They don't understand business. They don't understand business. They just understand the side of an employee and the mindset of an employee. And that's just work and trade time for dollars. That's the problem right there. So I hope this video was very informative to you guys. If you guys are looking for some consultation, this is just a small piece of what our Zoom and our conference calls are. This is a small piece. I got a lot of knowledge, and I'll have a lot of investors, and I have a lot of people behind me that can sit on these calls as well. People that's been doing this shit for years. I've been doing this shit for years as well, but I want to get more into my knowledge, because people don't know. They don't know. They just hear me out here talking this positive stuff, and they're like, okay, it's another positive speaker. What is he talking about? But again, hey, you know, I'm in tech. You know, I got guys around me as well as myself that, you know, take this money from tech and put this money into growing credit, from growing your credit, taking that money and buying small businesses from baby boomers who's looking to retire. It's businesses out here that are like basically been cash flowing for years, but they don't have nobody to pass it on to. It's money out here to get, you know, and I want to position you to get this money outside of just trying to work forever. Working is cool. Don't get it twisted. Working is great to make money. And it's great to have people that got businesses. But if they got businesses, I'm not trying to do no work. I'm not trying to go nowhere and work none. I just want to get paid. And a lot of people just want to get paid as well. So if you got a little bit of money sitting to the side or whatever, you know, and you know these business owners going to need some money again. Operations and ad spends is where all the money go. They got to keep that shit running, and they got to keep it running as far as being invisible to people, being visible to their target market. And ad spend costs a lot of money. Ask anybody who got a real legitimate business. Ask anybody that's running the business how much ad spend hits. So anyway, this your boy Vince G. You guys take it easy out there. I got to get to the gym because I've been sitting here talking to y'all for a minute, but I've been trying to give y'all some gems and some Jews. Again, reach out to me if you guys looking for some consultation, and share this video. Like this video, share this video, pass this video on to somebody. Share it as much as you possibly can, because it's a lot of people out here that have businesses that need capital. There's a lot of people out here that got capital that don't know what to do with it. They don't know where to put it at. That don't know how to make that money that's going to put them in a position where they don't have to worry as hard as they've been worrying, you know, because it's only a matter of time that shit is going to run out, you know. And they just sitting on that nest head. It's going to run out. Then they're going to be, again, like I said, they're going to be a Costco signing in receipts as you walk out the door. They're going to be a Walmart signing in receipts as you walk out the door. You know, and that's a shame, because a lot of people, when they retire, depending on what them 401ks look like, a lot of them 401ks be looking like 100,000, 150,000. You know, and that's all you got left. You don't have nothing else left. That's all you got left is that $100,000 or that $75,000. That shit is going to be gone so fast, especially if you was making $75,000 a year. You basically got 1 year's salary, and you got a lifestyle that you've been living. You got a mortgage, you got cars, and shit don't stop, and it's never stopped at all. It's never stopped at all. But now you retired, and you out the door. You got a little 401k, you got a little money, you got a little Roth, and you thought you did everything right. This is 30, 40 years of what you got. You got 1 year to sit down. 1 year. And before it's all gone like that. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And you don't want to be out here trying to get back into the job market and you older. You know, you already know it's age discrimination out here. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it honest with each other. You know it's age discrimination out here. It's going to be harder for you. I don't care if you black, white, whatever. It's going to be harder out here. So you better come up with a plan on how we going to make this money stretch and last. You can make $100,000 last and stretch. Especially if you walking into this hard money loan industry and you know people who got legitimate businesses, and you continue to loan that money out the right way, and you say, hey, this is my I want 25% on 100 grand. That's $25,000 that you ain't have to work for, in your pocket, in your hand, as they say, in your hand, that you ain't have to work for. And you still got your principal. You still got the principal. And just continue to flip it. Continue to work it out. Continue to work it out. Continue to work it out. You give 100,000 here, you get 200,000 here. Shit, at a 25%, that's $50,000. 300,000. That's 75,000. Shit, you might need to take out a mortgage on the house in order to go into somebody's business and put, especially if they making some real money, and you can help their business grow, but also besides just helping their business grow, help yourself grow. Because these MCA loan companies, they are fucking predators on some real shit. We need them. We can, and we have the option to say no. But when your business is at a point where you might not make payroll, and you've been paying payroll on credit cards, and you in critical situations, and shit looking tight, that $20,000 gonna come in handy. But because you paying and you playing catch up, that $20,000 gonna run out like that, because you playing catch up. You trying to keep it. You trying to keep afloat. You got bills from a couple of weeks ago, so you playing catch up, and you still got payroll. So you went through that 20K like that. You almost got a little bit of post, because you was at a flat line for a minute. You got a little bit of post. So I'm telling you guys this from experience. So I gotta go again. It's your boy Vince G. You guys take it easy. Peace.